in the middle of your talks. I'm one of those golden, maybe gray eagles from way back, an alum, and I just want to share a little my support for you and just a little perspective. So starting off, I love BC. I had great experience here, and I had Jesuits in high school and college, and they had amazing positive influences on my life. And so in thinking about sharing a couple of words with you today, I just wanted to kind of come from that place as well, and think of some of the pride that I felt in BC over the years. One point was, when I was here, they only had one motto, and that motto was ever to excel. So one of the things I was most prideful about was when they adopted the men and women for others. This was something that came from the head of the Jesuits, Padre Arrupe, and what he was concerned about, he was addressing a group of graduates of Jesuit institutions in Europe, and what he was concerned about is that they were taking this ever to excel and improving the quality of their own lives and doing very well economically, but they weren't improving the lives of the societies that they went out after graduating from Jesuit institutions. So he exhorted them at the time, and at that time there were male institutions, to be men for others. And to me, that BC now uses that banner to be men and women for others. It was one of my kind of high points of the recent past. And then when I came in 10 years ago, my daughter was a freshman. And in freshman orientation, they had Paul Farmer, who started and has continued the efforts to bring health care to the poor, disadvantaged people of Haiti, and has done that around the world. He was sending that message to BC undergraduates to join in. In the Pulse program, one of the things I was happiest about, they didn't do this when I was back here years ago. As part of the Pulse program, she'd go to Hyde Square Task Force in JP a couple of days a week and tutor middle school kids in math and English, and it was something that's stayed with her all these years. So these are things I feel good about BC. My concern is that BC kind of steps up that men and women for others piece. My sense is the focus is on individual acts of charity and volunteerism and things like that, and what there's not enough emphasis on are these kind of deep, endemic, systemic problems. How to get BC students realizing you've got to change the problems from where they start. To do that, I wanted to kind of use a little anecdote to share. I feel bad now about wearing the sweatshirt from the sweatshop. It's what I have, but to get into my pocket to bring out this anecdote. I too, like Father Ray, have been working with the fossil-free thing, which I'm right with you, man. To me, it's the most critical issue facing the world, and it's got the people in Philippines are worried about that hurricane. It's because of the drastic things that are happening now with the climate. People are projecting in Bangladesh 40 million people are going to be displaced when those seas keep rising. So it's very, very, very critical social justice issue. So what I want to share with you, and the reason I'm pulling this out, is there were 3 alums and Aaron who came over here at reunion time last spring to try to persuade, interact with, in a very polite, sort of friendly way, people were coming back to reunions. I just want to report to you just the experience of one of the people who was with me, and to use it, I think, as an issue and as an illustration. I can say that Aaron and Sutton and I, who were standing right over here, meeting people going down to a barbecue here, we had nothing but a great time and a lot of positive interaction, and even got a bunch of signatures on the petition. The 2 other alums were standing on the other side of Gasson, on the way to BAPS, and there was a barbecue there. So this is what one of the fellows writes. We were on campus for about 2 hours and engaging alumni near Gasson Hall. Police were present during that time but paid no attention to us. We carried signs and held clipboards. Finally, a police sergeant approached my colleague and I, a woman, with several other officers. He questioned us extensively, obtaining personal information. He told us if we refused to give the information, he would use other means to obtain it. He was in communication by phone with someone who confirmed by computer that what he said was true and that they found out that they were members of that particular class. He also said that school policy forbids our actions. I remember that he did offer an option, that we could get rid of our signs and clipboards, refrain from activity, and remain on campus supposedly for the alumni festivities, or if not, leave campus. We chose to leave after we informed him that our cars are parked in the lower campus. I'm sure all the personal information that he gathered about us is stored in the BC Police computer. His smiling remark, being too old to go to jail, had a dual purpose: to ease the tension of the situation while stating a severe warning if we persisted. I share that, I think, just as an example of, we're a couple of pretty benign alumni coming in and trying to have a conversation about something really important and feeling very, very quickly that this was unacceptable. What that brings up for me, I think a lot of BC administrators, if you spoke to them, would feel that they do promote student involvement and they do promote free speech. I think what they're not aware of is what I see in this anecdote and what I've heard in some of your examples is the institutional values that get in the way. My sense is that they care too much about orderliness, about things being well managed, about things being under control. I think they care too much about certain stakeholder groups, like parents, like alumni, like donors, like prospective students, loving these beautifully manicured grounds, and not seeing students acting or misbehaving. I think, unfortunately, that kind of value carries over into some of the rules and regulations, some of the roles. My sense is that policeman who did the job over there was doing what he was supposed to, but he was doing what his boss, the sergeant, wanted him to do, and his boss, whoever the chief of the police is, and whoever they report to. And that the accumulation of that, I think, becomes, it all adds up. And what it leads to is inhibiting people from gathering, from talking about things. And that's what I hear when I heard Alyssa talk about the fossil-free students. There's just too many steps, too many hoops, too many things that are discouraging people to participate. Then what Boston College, in my belief, should do is what a number of you have referred to today. You are the hope of tomorrow. And if you don't learn now, while you're undergraduates, goes back to what Nate Osborne was saying early. How could you expect at ages 30, 40, 50 to go out and be fired up about making social change if when you're 19, 20, 21 and you're here, you're not encouraged to do it? You're not. To me, this is what I would love as an alum, because I mentioned a couple of things that I'm proud about, that I feel positive about BC. For me to feel even prouder about BC is to actually encourage your participation, your involvement, to start to be comfortable with a little bit of edge, with people kind of disagreeing with each other, with people kind of pushing the envelope. You are BC, you are the future of this great university and this great society, and the world needs you to be actively involved. And I feel honored to have worked with the fossil-free students, and I'm sure that the rest of you have just that same kind of intensity. So thanks for a couple moments to speak with you.